Oh, yeah.
What is up?
That had a little bit of like Halloween kind of like beginning at it, right? Like a little bit of like Halloween EDM. You know what I mean? Like, I like that. 'Tis the season. Here in the Midwest, man, it's starting to. Well, actually, I can't say. We had a little spike back in temperature, but there for a little bit, man, it was starting to feel a little bit like starting to get that little autumny kind of feel in the air there for a little bit. Now it's like I said, jump back up in the 80s, 90s, but.
Yeah, we were talking to my mother-in-law yesterday, and she said, "Yeah, it's like upper 80s out right now." I'm like, "What?"
Yeah. It jumped back up again on us. Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, and it's dry as a bone out here. I can't even remember the last time we had rain.
Oh,
like,
wow!
I can't remember. I can't remember last time it rained. So
yeah.
Well,
I don't think we've had rain since April, but I mean, that's par for the course in San Francisco, but. Yeah. Hey, man. Yesterday was your birthday. Just want to say happy birthday. Cheers.
Thank you.
Hope it was a good one.
Yeah. Made it another loop around the old sun. So.
All right. Okay. Well, let's jump into some race results. One race that we talked about a little bit on the last episode that was kind of still in progress was Tor Des Geants. And Tor Des Geants is it's a race. So there's different tour races, right? There's Tour de Glacier, which is I think 450 kilometers. There's a couple other ones, but the main event, or the one that we focus on, is Tor Des Geants, and this starts and ends in Courmayeur in Italy. And it's 205 miles, or for the international listeners, 330 kilometers. There's 24,000 meters of climbing. That's 78,740 feet. So, just shy of 40,000 feet per 100 miles. That is no joke. And it goes through the Alps. And this is a hard race. I know people that are really good runners that have DNF'd the race. And there's a 150-hour time limit. That equals out to about 6.25 days. And just to show how hard it is, there was over 1,000 people that finished or that started the race, and 529 finished. 555 DNFs. So,
dang.
So yeah, it is no joke. I do recommend going on YouTube and watching some videos of Tor Des Geants, because the scenery is just damn impressive. I mean, it would be worth it to go out there and DNF just to see some of that scenery from the high mountain altitudes.
I mean, I can't remember if we were talking about this after the show or during the show, but shit, I'll go over there and just do the 30-kilometer.
Yeah. We did talk about it on the last show. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll just go over and do the 30 kilometers just so I can get a little sniff of the scenery or like that. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
So it'd be hilarious. Like that 30-kilometer. I'm assuming that 30-kilometer will take me every bit of what it would take me to do a 50-miler. You know, I mean, just on a.
Oh yeah, it's
if not a 50-miler, like not a 50K, a 50-miler. Like I think that 30K will probably just break off in you.
Yeah. So the 30K has 2,000 meters of climb, which is over 6,500 feet. Yeah. So that's pretty serious for 17 miles. So
I mean, that's crazy.
It's bonkers. So what's cool is, I picked Francois Dehaene to win UTMB, and I knew he was coming back from an injury and everything, but he's one of the GOATs. And when he DNF'd UTMB, I'm like, maybe maybe he's not back from his injury or whatnot, but lo and behold, he just won Tor Des Geants.
Yeah.
So yeah, he came in first. He's the second Frenchman in 15 years to win the overall title at Tour.
Which feels weird, right? It feels weird. It's only been two. Like you would think they'd have. I know it's not a French. It's an Italian race, but you think them, coming down from eastern parts of France, they'd be. I don't know. Like, that just seems
it's
weird.
still in the Alps, so I'm sure they're training. They're training there, no doubt. And he holds the record with Killian as a 4-time men's winner of UTMB, trail running's biggest event. And UTMB was just 2 weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he was just using UTMB as a warm up for Tour, or maybe he just jumped in Tour after he DNF'd UTMB. I don't really know.
Yeah.
But anyways, it was close, I guess, for a lot of the men's race until Francois made a decisive move, and he crossed the finish line in a total of 69 hours and 8 minutes and 32 seconds. And for the women, Switzerland's Katharina Hartmuth, she claimed a record-breaking win and finished 7th overall. Her time was 79 hours and 10 minutes. And she's the first woman to finish Tour in less than 80 hours. Yeah. So congrats to Katharina.
And it sounds like it wasn't even really close. It doesn't sound like, it sounds like second place was pretty far back too.
Yeah. So, well, let me go to the results page.
Oh, it's down at the bottom of the page you're on now. It's on down there.
I got it. Okay. So Katharina finished in 79 hours and 10 minutes. Second place was Sabrina Verhey, and she's from Great Britain, and she finished in 84 hours and 3 minutes. So yeah, there was about 5 hours difference between first and second place female. And see who's in third?
That's pretty fucking cool, right? Good old Claire Banworth.
That's pretty awesome. Just ran UTMB too, right? Yeah.
So it's funny because I was actually as we're sitting here talking about this, and I was kind of scrolling down through. I'm like, wait a second. I'm 90%. Not only do I think Claire ran it, but I kind of thought Katharina did too.
I think you're right. I remember talking about her in the preview.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I think they both ran. Where they came in. Yeah. So
how do you run UTMB and then have the legs to turn around for this monster?
Amazing. So
it is.
While you talk a little bit, I'm gonna go back and try to find it in our show.
Okay.
In our old show notes.
All right. Yeah. So Claire finished in 85 hours and 2 minutes. So about an hour behind second place. And Americans, for the women, Mika Thews, she ran it, and she's been doing all the 200 milers in the U.S. this year. She's like a 200-mile specialist, I would say. She got second at Cocodona, or second at Cocodona, and I can't. Did she win? Did she win at Tahoe? I think she did. I can't remember. But anyway, she's running all the 200 circuit in the States, and I didn't know until yesterday that she ran Tor Des Geants, but she got 6th place female at Tour and 46th overall. Other American women at Tor Des Geants was Caitlin Allen. She finished 7th female, right behind Mika, and 50th overall. And Maria Salty finished in 9th female and 104th overall.
Can't confirm. Claire did run UTMB. She took 18th at UTMB.
Wow.
So it's not like she just went out and lollygagged. UTMB is like, oh, let me get like a warm up 109 miles on my legs.
No shit.
No, she ran the 109 miles. Like she ran. So Claire confirmed. I'm still looking to see.
Wow.
If Katharina ran it or not. I'm not 100% sure about that one yet.
Wow. Absolute legend.
Crazy. Yeah, that is some next level.
And she did hard rock. She's done like all these hard ass races.
Yeah.
Like, man, just how inspiring. Like,
yeah,
wow.
that's amazing.
So for the men, Francois Dehaene, we already talked about, was first in 69 hours and 8 minutes. Benet Marmicel from France got second, 73 hours and 10 minutes. And Martin Perrier from Switzerland in 75 hours and 35 minutes. American male Zach Violet finished in 87 hours and 40 minutes. He got 10th pit place male and 13 overall. And then Seth Swanson, also for the American men, was 11th male and 14th overall. So that was, and William Weidman, 98 hours, was 23rd male and 28th overall. So Americans did okay, but no podiums for the men or the women.
Yeah. So we might have been wrong about Katharina. Yeah, I'm not seeing. I could swear she did though, but I'm not seeing her on here. Just a quick scan through. I'm not seeing her anywhere.
Okay. Yeah, no problem.
Still, shout out Bantworth though.
Yeah, that is just that. Like I said, that's just straight stuff of legend, man. Like,
yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, let's move on. Let's move on to Run Rabbit Run. All right. So Run Rabbit Run was exciting. It was live streamed. It started on Friday morning. Run Rabbit Run has pretty good prize money, and it starts and ends in Steamboat Springs, Colorado, right in the ski resort area there. It's a hard rock qualifier. I think there's around 17,500 feet to climb, maybe between that and 18,000 feet. It was quite a good race. And first, I just want to give a shout out to my running friends here in the Bay Area, Sean and Ram. They both ran at Run Rabbit Run. Sean is recovering from ankle surgery earlier this year or late last year, so he didn't quite get it done, but he gave it a good go. And Ram finished in 32 hours, I think, in 33 minutes, I believe. So he had a pretty good race, and got another hard rock qualifier under his belt. So congrats to them. Okay, so Run Rabbit Run, like I said, good prize money. There's $15,000 to the first place male and first place female in the 100-miler. I think there's $75,000 in prize money overall, actually. Yeah. They give a ton of money to charity. They've given back over the years since 2012 $505,000 to nonprofit and charitable organizations. So, and that was the first year of the 100-miler, was in 2012. I actually did the 50-miler that year there, and it was my first 50-mile race, so pretty memorable. And you know, the 50-miler starts on Saturday, the 100-miler starts on Friday. So when I was doing that first big climb in Run Rabbit Run, Carl, the speed goat Meltzer, was on his cruising down that downhill to his first place prize money, and he was all business, man. He had his headphones on, And
locked in.
Oh man, he was just not looking at anybody. He was just, he was just going.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it was really cool to see. Yeah, pretty memorable. So the race, there was a course record set. Canadian runner Emily Mann set a new course record, 19 hours, 48 minutes for the women. And she beat a long-standing record of Michelle Yates, who I think Michelle Yates, she ran like Indiana Trail 100 one year. I think she has some ties to the Midwest, if I'm not mistaken.
That name rings a bell.
Yeah, she held the course record there, 20 hours and 16 minutes since 2013. So Emily beat that record by 27 minutes. I guess they had really good weather this year. It was warm in the daytime and cool to cold at night. Mid-September in Colorado, the aspen trees are changing color. Sure, it's just, one of those beautiful scenes. Altitude from 6,600 feet at the ski resort all the way up to 10,600 feet up at Mount Werner, that's basically the first climb. You go from the ski resort, the 100-miler goes straight up a black diamond ski slope, and then ends up, up at the top at Mount Werner there at the aid station. So there's two divisions, right? There's the tortoise and the hare.
Yeah.
So the hare are the more like elite runners that are competing for prize money, and they have a 30-hour cutoff. The tortoises have a 36-hour cutoff.
I was just looking. Yes, 36-hour. Yep, for the tortoises.
Yep, and Jam Jam was out there, Mountain Outpost. They did the live stream. Great coverage at the aid. They had people at the aid stations looking out for leaders, and it was pretty cool. So, for the men, Richard Lockwood, I believe he was. Let's see. He seemed to be patiently passing the miles until the other men around him dropped back one by one. The last man fell somewhere before mile 71, and from there, Lockwood went on to dominate. His lead grew slowly at first, and then in the race's final miles, he was blazing. He crossed the finish line in 17 hours and 24 minutes, and that was 47 minutes better than the second place male, and 35 minutes faster than his victory there in 2022. Second place male was Adam Loomis, and he had a good performance. He had a really good first half, and then Christopher Hams was third. So, and Tyler Green ran the race. He finished in fourth.
He had a good summer.
Yeah, he has. He did good at Western States, and he's done really well at some of the other lower distance races that he's ran as well. Yeah. As we said, Emily Mann for the women set the course record for the women. Michelle Yates ran this year, and she was like one of the early leaders. Leah Yingling.
Oh yeah.
She ran. She got second.
Emily Mann's picture on the I Run Far article. I shit you not. It looks like she's out for like just it looks like she's out for a hike.
Right. Like, is she carrying like a glass of water? Like,
she's carrying like she has like one
soft flask.
Yeah, it looks like one soft flask. Legit, yep. I don't think she has a hydration vest on.
It doesn't look like. Maybe she has a belt. It looks like.
I mean, it's like, oh yeah, it looks like she has like just a pair of like black short compression shorts, a black tank top, and that's it. Like, it legitimately looks like she's out for like a stroll down like a crushed limestone path.
And that's like Anton Krapishka style, right? Like
Yeah.
super minimalist, like.
And here's the other thing. It's kind of like you had talked about. Like that's the first climb. Like that picture that's up right now for the folks watching on our YouTube channel.
Yeah,
that's the first climb. So
Yep.
that's son of a bitch. Like it's like you can see probably 20 feet behind her, and then after that, it's like doof, straight down the Black Nine. Like I love the fact that they walk straight up underneath the chairlift. Yeah, they walked right underneath the chairlift thing.
That's
like
right.
that thing. But yeah, I saw that picture. I'm like, dude, that's a bad mammoth jammer right there. Like that is dope as shit. Just like, yep, I'm gonna go out and set a course record, and I'm not going to carry anything other than one soft flask.
That's right. That's a good way to go, minimalist style.
Mm-hmm.
You know, sometimes those packs crush your back in 100-miler, man. And that happened to Ram this year too. His pack wasn't cinching down right, and man, it screwed his back up apparently. Leia Yingling finished second, 20 hours, 19 minutes. She had a really good race. She must have fell like had a pretty bad fall, or at least one fall, because I saw an Instagram picture of her, and both at the finish, and both her knees were just like bloodied up, like it looked bad.
Yingling.
Yeah. Barrett Gray got third for the ladies, 21 hours and 41 minutes. So Michelle Yates ended up finishing seventh. And there's another girl named Leia Ling. And on the live stream, Leia Yingling came in to Fish Creek Falls aid station, and they put the name up as Leia Ling. And everybody was like, oh, they have a typo and all this, you know. It was like, it wasn't a typo. There is a Leia Ling, but it was actually Leia Yingling. So they did have the wrong name up. Anyway. So yeah, Run Rabbit Run. It goes up that steep climb up to Mount Werner, and then it drops down to Fish Creek Falls, back up, and then it goes out a little bit, and then there's like a 20-mile downhill all the way back to town, and then they cross the street in town, and then they go up and they do this loop up on the other side in the mountains on the other side of town. And then they go all the way back up that 20-mile downhill, back up to the high country. And then they make their way around. Then they have that like 6-mile downhill to the finish. So, and so cool race. Like I said, I did the 50-miler out there in 2012. The 50-miler is an out and back to Rabbit Ears Pass. So it's a tough but fun race. All right, so in the 50-miler, Nicholas Sandaz was first, and he finished in 8 hours and 16 minutes. Second place male, Andrew Pontabriand, in 8 hours 34 minutes. First place female, Abigail West, 8 hours 35 minutes, and she was third overall. And second place female was Nora Rex, 9 hours and 2 minutes, and sixth overall. So congrats to them. All right. We can move on to RUT. So RUT is a really cool race. This is one of the sky races in America.
Yeah.
And it takes place in Big Sky, Montana. Very challenging. It takes place at Big Sky Resort property. There's all kinds of terrain, Jeep roads, single track, alpine ridge lines. And if you go to the RUT website and scroll down, it says, 60% single track, 25% dirt road, and 15% off trail. So you know that 15% off trail is like scrambling up to the summit.
Yeah. It would be kind of neat on their website. They have like that map box. It'd be cool if you could kind of see where the off trail was. But I guarantee, like you're saying, it's either scrambling up or sliding down some of that.
Or both, probably.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like it is not enjoyable.
Yeah, there's like 10,500 feet of climbing in the 50K. So that's anything over 10,000 feet in a 50K is considered a mountain race. We had a mountain race. They still have, I don't know if they still do it or not, but there was one at Diablo out here in the Bay Area that had over 10,000 feet of climbing. And then they do Broken Arrow out in Tahoe, out at the Olympic Village there at Palisades. All right. So there you can see the picture of the race area there, the resort area, and then like those sharp mountains behind it.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool. And the course description. There are sections of this course, including the ascent and traverse of Headwaters Ridge, as well as the ascent of Bone Crusher Ridge towards the summit of Lone Peak, which are extremely steep and technical with sections of exposure and rockfall hazard. The result of a fall in these sections could be injury or death. The responsibility falls on the participant to have the skills to traverse these areas safely. Do not let the distance fool you. This is a true mountain course. Please treat it with the respect it deserves. We strongly encourage you to become familiar with the course training before registering the event. So yeah, you can see some of these pictures where they're just climbing up rock.
One of the cool things about their website is, like I said, if you're on their website, right, and you scroll down past their pictures, just above where it talks about right in through there, that you can scroll in and and you can navigate. So right there, that summit you're at, I think you come up that. So if you go to your left a little bit, that right there is a straight up scramble. Like that is gnarly.
Yeah, so you're going up this. You can see the little arrows there.
And then you're going down.
And then you're going down this backside.
Dude.
Yeah. That's like you can see in the pictures. I mean, that's just not that one, but the last couple. They're that.
Yeah. Like, but their little map is pretty cool. Like their little map is pretty interesting. How you can really see some of the ridiculous shit you're about to do.
Yeah, it is pretty cool. And it's very remote, Montana, big sky country, pretty cool. All right, let's check the results. And Michelano Sunseri from Driggs, Idaho, was first in the 50K, and he did 5 hours and 1 minute. And Ryan Becker was second from Telluride, Colorado, in 5 hours 9 minutes. Scott Patterson from Anchorage, Alaska, third male, 5 hours 20 minutes. And then for the first place female, we have Claire Rhodes from Anchorage, and she finished, let's see here, in 5 hours and 45 minutes. Second place female was Jasmin Lothar, which I feel like we've mentioned her a few times on the podcast, and 5 hours 53 minutes. And third place female was Hannah Osowski, Colorado Springs, Colorado, 5 hours 56 minutes. So sub 6 for the podium men and women.
Dude, sub 6.
Yeah.
Fuck me, dude.
Like, yeah.
Oh my God.
I can only do sub 6 on a flat gravel path.
I will fully admit, I got caught up in, I was mesmerized by their interactive map. So I was over here messing with that. So I apologize if I missed this. Did we talk about what this race's cutoff is?
No, we didn't.
This race's cutoff, it starts at 6 in the morning, right? This race starts at 6 a.m. Its cutoff is 7 p.m. it's a 13-hour cutoff on this 50K.
That's pretty cool,
dude. I think it would take everything I had in the tank to gut out a 13-hour finish on this course.
Oh, you could do it,
dude. That climb I have nerded out and I followed that little course around. Dude, this thing, those climb, you switchback my ass. You are not getting any switchbacks on this thing. Like, I can't even wrap my head around this course.
So
and it is rough trails. Like, it is rough trails.
So right off the get, looks like you have about a 1,500-foot climb, and then you have about a 1,200-foot drop, a little climb, and then it's pretty much gradual downhill for a while, and then you have a big long climb from like mile 8. There's a couple little downhills, but mostly you're going from mile 8 to mile 19 to get to the summit. And that's like kind of a long, I should be sharing this tab, kind of a long drawn out climb from here all the way to here. And then it's pretty much downhill from 19. There's a couple like uphills. Looks like maybe a 1,000-foot climb thrown in there, but generally downhill in the last 12 miles or so. I'm not saying those downhills are going to be runnable to where you're going to be making up a lot of time, but
I am once you go by Moonlight number 2, right?
Yeah.
The aid station Moonlight 2. Once you go by
right
that,
here.
man, yeah, it really if you're just following it on its little map, like everything you're saying, like you can see the little climb, you can see that up to Moonlight 1. Okay. And then like you're saying, you dip down, you have some nice fun stuff, and then also you start climbing Moonlight 2.
Yeah.
And it gets serious, man, because then you come along that ridge, right? You climb up, you come down that ridge.
Oh,
you dip
that's not
down
even that's not even the summit. The high point is not even the summit. That's weird.
I think it's that first ridge you hit.
The summit is right here. I don't know. This thing might be off.
Yeah, that summit looks like that summit sure as shit looks like the high point to me.
It's definitely the high point. It's the summit. It's got to be the high point. But this thing, and when you run the line along it, it shows you the high point is down lower. So it must just be off. That's fine.
When you're at the aid station at Swift Current, right? When you're at Swift Current, you are looking straight up the ridge of summit to summit. You're just like, son of a bitch. Like, it's getting like this race, boy.
They actually have an aid station at the summit.
Yeah. Yep.
Huh.
That'd be a dope ass aid station work, wouldn't it?
Do they take a chairlift up there or something?
I don't know. That thing's probably packed in. Like, they probably have mules up there to pack that shit up in there. But like, it's cool because like you can see on their course map, like there's trails all over the place. Like, it looks kind of cool. I mean, there's houses in that area. Like, it looks like, but dude, this race is whoo-wee.
It's a beast. It's a beast, yeah, no doubt. Okay. One cool thing that I want to share. So this ultra runner, Remi Bonnet from Switzerland, is in town for an event, Golden Trail World Series event in Marin that we'll talk about in a minute. But in a podcast with Dylan Bowman on Free Trail right here on Instagram, Dylan Bowman's like telling Remi Bonnet about this Mount Tam Hill Climb, how Walmsley's held the FKT for 7 or 8 years. And Dylan Bowman's like, are you gonna go try to beat the FKT? And he goes, I heard about that. So yeah, maybe I'll go over there and do it. So I want to talk just for a second about this FKT for the Mount Tam Hill Climb. So it starts in downtown Mill Valley. Shoot. My link got messed up, and I'm going to open it back up right now. Okay, so it starts in downtown Mill Valley, and it goes on this road in downtown Mill Valley, which is in Marin, just north of San Francisco, across the Golden Gate Bridge, and Mount Tam. We've talked about it a lot on this podcast. I think it's like 2,400 feet above sea level. So, but it goes through some streets, and for the first like mile and a quarter, it's on a paved road, pretty steep, paved road, climbing up, and then it hits a super steep trail, the Tamalpa Trail, and that trail basically goes straight up for a while, and then it hits some switchbacks, and then you get up towards the Mount Tam summit, and then you have to do the hand over fist rock climb scramble to the top, to the summit of Mount Tam at East Peak. So in all, this is 3.29 miles and 2,462 feet of climb. So it's pretty crazy. And Walmsley had the record on this for, like Dylan Bowman said, 7 or 8 years. And his record was, I believe, 32 minutes. And Remi Bonnet just went over there the other day and laid down a sub 30. He did 28 minutes and 59 seconds to the top. Like, I don't even know how that is like humanly possible, because there's some areas of Tamalpa Trail that are like so steep, and even the scramble at the top that you do is just crazy. I wish I could. Oh, here's the overall leaderboard.
I like the idea of like, oh, maybe I'll go check it out. It just like destroys it.
Yeah. So right here, Walmsley, May 25th, 2017, set it in 30 hours and 38 minutes. And Remi Bonnet, 28 hours. Why am I saying hours? 30 minutes and 38 seconds. I'm used to talking about 100 milers, but 30 minutes, 38 seconds for Walmsley, and 28 minutes, 59 seconds for Remi. And before Walmsley, Galen Burrell had it in 30 minutes and 58 seconds. So Walmsley had only beat him by 20 seconds.
Which is wild. I mean, like, when, I don't know, like, we've not to fanboy too much of our Walmsley, but like when we talked about Walmsley in the past, we've always talked about like that dude is like, he's just like full send. You know what I mean? Like he's just amazingly fast.
Yeah.
So
go
it's
for
wild.
broke.
It's wild that like one, he barely. I don't know. Like, it's funny. It's just, I'm kind of surprised. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there is some really famous names on this segment, right? Like Eddie Owens, who's a local runner, super fast. He was once, has the 4th place on this. Patty O'Leary, another super fast local runner, and there's Drew Holman, Matt Seidel in the Bay Area, Tyler Wolf, Alex Farner, Chris Thoburn, who's a friend of mine. Actually, I met him at the race that I'm doing this weekend. I met him there in 2017. Ricky Gase, Dylan Bowman, Scotty Trumer. So, yeah, just, long list of like super fast people that have done this segment.
We'll let them keep it. We won't.
Let's see what my all-time PR is on this segment. 1 hour and 8 minutes.
Late days. That's hilarious, dude. They are doubling you up.
Yep.
But that is amazing when you put it in there. It'd be funny. God, that is magical when you think of that, actually.
Yeah, 16.9% average grade. Yeah, it's a climb category 1. Yeah, it's pretty. It's a good way to get some vert in pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I think I mentioned before. There's that really fast runner here, and she won Cascade Crest this year, but Kati Land, and she did that segment. She did it 16 times.
Did the repeats on it?
Out and back. Yeah. Anyway, all right. So let's talk about why Remi's in town. The Golden Trail World Series has come to the States, which is pretty cool, actually. They had, because the World Series is like Sierra Zinal, right? Like one of the most famous races in the world. And there's some other races in the World Series. The grand final, I don't, it'll be revealed the location, but the last 2 races in the Golden Trail World Series are here in Marin, and then in Mammoth on the 22nd, Mammoth Trail Fest. They're getting some snow in the Sierras. Like, I think they got some last night, so that might be interesting, actually. So anyways, the race is called the Headlands 27K. I know it's not an ultra, but I do want to talk about it. It's kind of weird that they call it Headlands 27K because it doesn't take place in the Headlands. It takes place on the Mount Tam side. It starts where that Tamalpa 50K or Tamalpa 50K starts in Santos Meadows there. It goes up the Dipsy Trail. It goes down, does a loop in Muir Woods. It goes down to Stinson Beach, and then it goes back along Coastal and down Heather Cutoff to the finish. Now, the 2 guys in first and second place, like, that's a pretty fast downhill there at Heather Cutoff to the finish. And there's this video on Instagram of them at the finish. You got to check this out. Look at this. Look how fast these guys are going.
Golly days.
I mean, they are just burning it. And
I wonder what that pace is right there.
I don't know, but look at that. Holy shit. I mean, they're just flying. Just flying. That's pretty cool. I know that meadow well. I've crossed it a million times. So
that is wild. Like, that is a wild. I think my favorite one is right when they're in that itty bitty little like S.
Yeah,
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, they're both just turning it on.
And it's wild. Like, the dude in second at this hard turn right here, you're like, oh, he's right there. And then that dude hits that, comes out of that turn.
Yeah.
Like, bam.
There's actually another view that I saw earlier where you can see the guy, like, you can see him from the finish line. You can see him coming towards it. And the guy in first, he just kept glancing, like, just to make sure. So let's talk about this Headlands 27K, part of the Golden Trail World Series. It's a fast course, but it does have 27K. It does have 4,200 feet of climbing, and some of Marin County's most famous trails that I've been on and you've been on.
Yeah.
Let's see. For the women, 30 minutes into the race, Madalina Floria from Romania. So this is another cool thing about this Golden Trail World Series, right? You get runners from all over the world, like fast elite trail runners from all over the world here. So, and Joyce Mothina from Kenya had a lead on the rest of the field. The 25-year-old Americans, Lauren Gregory and Anna Gibson, ran in third and fourth, each 20 seconds ahead of the group of chasers. By the time they reached Stinson Beach, an hour later, 90 minutes into the race, Mothina Najuru had gained a 13-second lead on Floria, and Judith Wider from Switzerland overtook Gibson for fourth. And the 2024 OCC 55K winner at UTMB, Mio Yao from China, hadn't found a faster pace, and she was back in 10th. Nijiru stretched that lead further the rest of the way, and the top 3 stayed in that order. Okay, so Nijiru from Kenya, first place female, 2 hours 17. Madalena Floria from Romania, 2 hours 18. And Lauren Gregory from the U.S., 2 hours and 19 minutes. Then for the men, so early on, it looked like a revenge run for Philemon Ambogo Kiriago from Kenya and Remi Bonnet, who just set the FKT on the Mount Tam Hill Climb, who's from Switzerland. Kiriago, this year's Sierra Zinal runner-up. So yes, that's how I know his name. He got second to Killian at Sierra Zinal. Kiriago did. Yeah, that was another cool. Remember that dude, the mascot thing got in front of him at the end? It was kind of weird.
Oh, yeah. 100%. Yes. Oh, that dude is fast as shit. Yeah.
Yeah. So Remi had dropped from OCC 55K 2 weeks ago. But those two led 24 minutes into the race at the Dipsy peak timing point. And alongside with a guy from Morocco, El Hussein Alaziu, and that 3-man group stayed together for the next hour. Only Patrick Kipnego from Kenya was close, but he lost a few more seconds and now is 19 seconds behind in fourth. Kiriago and Alaziu dropped Bonnet in the final miles, and Alaziu out-sprinted Kiriago for the victory, which we saw in the video. Alaziu won the race 1 hours 55 minutes. Kiriago was second, 1 hours 55 and 29 seconds. And Alaziu, who won, was 1 hours 55 and 27 seconds, so 2 second difference. And Kipnego overtook Bonnet for third. So Remi ended up fading to fourth place. But so that was the men's race at the Golden Trail World Series event here in my home trails. Well,
it's cool.
What were my home trails until about 2 weeks from now.
For a few more weeks at least.
Yeah. And then I'll have some new home trails, but more on that later. So, okay. There's another race that I wanted to talk about really quick, because I remember looking at this race last year and kind of being fascinated by it. And it's called the Plain 100.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in Washington. And it said my browser has lost connection. You can still hear me, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. So the Plain endurance runs in Washington. Basically, it's self-supported. I think it's technical. I think it's hard. The Plain endurance runs are just plain tough. And like I said, they're in Plain, Washington. So for those of you who want the Plain experience but don't want the full meal deal, we have an entree for you, the Plain 100K, which is 1 loop instead of 2. I didn't have time really to look too much into the race to prepare for the show, because if you have noticed, we're recording early this week.
Yeah.
It is only Monday. The reason we're recording early is because I have a race this Saturday in Oregon. I'm doing Mountain Lakes 100. I've been training for all summer, and that plus trying to pack up the apartment to move in 2 weeks. So a lot going on. That's why we're recording early. But anyways, Plain 100. I think maybe we'll talk a little bit more about Plain 100.
It's an interesting, it really does come off as just a semi-organized fat ass. Like if you go to race details, click on the race details tab, it is interesting.
I don't even see where the race details is.
It's like, it's kind of interesting because it is kind of weird because I have like the website I'm on, I have like a black banner on my left hand side.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah, click down to race details and like it's on. And look at that. Look what that is on, man. It's amazing. Like it is just
like they scanned in an Excel spreadsheet.
But to your point, if you scroll down to 8, it gives you 36 hours to do it. So you have a while to do it. Now, right below cutoffs is aid, and it very boldly says no aid station, no pacers, water from streams, so bring your filter.
Yeah.
Right.
Crew access at Deep Creek only.
And like there's no picture taking by crew on the course. I don't no flags. Like this thing is like this isn't marked.
So basically it's two loops and you can only have a crew and a drop bag at the end of the beginning and end of the loop, right? So it starts in that dry creek, Deep Creek campground or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then they go out and they do, I'm guessing, a 50-mile loop. And then they come back, then access their bags. Maybe it's a 100K loop, and then the second loop's 40 miles.
The other thing
it's completely self-supported, dude. Filter your water.
Must have completed a trail 100-miler. A qualifier. So it's like here's the other thing that's pretty wild is, dude, t-shirts, no. Like there's not even a t-shirt. Like it is this race, man. Like it is a intriguing race. I mean, I hate to be like, I'm curious what the $135 goes to for the 100-mile race sign up.
Right.
I'm kind of curious about that, but
so
this race is for sure.
I'm seeing reports of 106 to 107 miles. I'm seeing reports of 23,000 feet of climbing. No course markings. The single aid station drop bag at 62-mile mark. There's a 5,000 foot climb up to Tyee Ridge. Several other big climbs, many short ups and downs. Very challenging, but as long as it's not Barkley, doesn't have the altitude of Hard Rock, and is easier to get into than other races. Well, yeah, it's easier to get into because not many people want to do that. But I did find it pretty crazy, like, just that this race exists. I remember reading about it a year ago thinking like, wow, this is pretty nuts. So
I'm on their there's a photo album they have on there. I mean, the trails don't look crazy, some of them. I mean, there's definitely some rocky sections. I mean, I feel like it's kind of your typical Washington trails, right? Like a fair amount of fire break road. When you're on trail, there's like the big, huge rocks in the dirt. You know what I mean? Like
roots and
but it doesn't look brutal.
Yeah, but you're gonna have to carry a lot of stuff, man. A lot of calories. Yeah, that's gonna be tough. And it looks like they have a history tab. If anybody wants to read more about it, you just go to their website and click on Plain History. I'm sure there's some pretty interesting history. The first year Plain 100 was 1997. 6 runners showed up.
I would 100% think this is something that I don't know, man. Unless you're from this area, I don't know, man. I'm seeing a ton of pictures of people out here doing this thing by themselves. But
yeah, it's crazy. Let's look at the results. That's 2023. Let me see if we got results. on Iron Fire's website. Yeah, right here. Christine Mosley was first for the women, 28 hours, 40 minutes. And Jeremy Douglas for the men from Canada won in 22 hours and 23 minutes. So he burned it down.
Damn, 28 hours for the winning female.
Yep.
22 for the men. Like that's
25 people finished. Somebody from Royal Oak, Michigan, which I used to live in Royal Oak for a little bit.
I'd be curious what they did for hill work.
Yeah, he's 60 years old too. Todd Scott, 32 hours and 6 minutes. So pretty good. Looks like the rest of the people are from out west, Pacific Northwest. Oh, here's someone from Illinois, Mike Dietz, 51, 28 hours, 40 minutes. Alaska.
36 hours.
Oh, somebody from Japan. Oh, that Tomo guy. Oh, yeah, he's a great runner. 24 hours and 44 minutes. He's that guy that's doing a whole bunch of hundreds. He has like this documentary thing going on.
I wish there was unless I'm just missing it, I wish there was a course map where I could see the loop. You know what I mean?
There is a map. Where did I see that? Course directions. Yeah, go to course directions. And there's
is it that topo map?
Oh, it's terrible. But you can see the purple. The purple is the first loop, and then the yellow is the second loop. So, yeah, it just looks gnarly. Like I don't even know, but I don't know if that's one that's going to be on my bucket list.
But I think that's the toughest fuck.
You'd have to have navigation. I mean,
I can't imagine. Like, yeah, dude, I would be. I'm not gonna lie, man. I'd be freaked the f out to be out there in the dark.
Yeah,
because like it's not marked. You know what I mean? Like you're 100% following blazes. I'm assuming this follows like right? Like this follows a trail of some kind. Yeah. I'm assuming.
Well, there's so many different roads and turns.
Yeah.
Like go straight 150 yards and see this sign. Come out of the woods at 1.5 miles onto a dirt road. Go straight. Proceed on road 2 miles. When road intersects at a crossing road, go straight ahead 100 feet into the woods onto trail. Yeah. Trail crosses one more road. Like it's wild, man. Like hopefully they have a GPX file that you can put on your phone because that would definitely make it a lot easier. I don't know, man. I'd maybe like go out there and cruise somebody, just hang out at the start finish, drink some beers.
Dude, the yellow loop, right? The yellow loop, if you go all the way, I'm assuming this map is oriented. If you go all the way to like what would be like the northwest, where I'm assuming to be the northwest corner.
Yeah.
Like kind of where your cursor is now, and you zoom in there, dude, that is insanely steep. What you are kind of like now, you're not going up or down it, like it's cut into the side of that mountain, but that is steep. You're coming down through there, and then like this race is really bizarre.
It is. I mean, it's fun to talk about, but that's about the extent of it.
Yeah, that race is wild.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on. I had one story that I wanted to talk about. I came across this article the other day. I thought it was worth a mention. Jasmin Paris, first female to finish Barkley, and there's an article in Run 247 website that talked about her training. So in one training session, she did 9 hours of hill repeats in the dark in a snowstorm. And that's how she did speed and also in addition to speed and strength work. But the out and backs that she did, the hill repeats, the story's crazy, right? So I guess she was talking to Dylan Bowman in the Free Trail podcast about this, but she said one particular morning after she'd gone to bed at 8 p.m., the same time as her son, she slept 4 hours, got up at midnight. It was hammering down with rain outside. She went out and the dog was like, "Are you sure you want to go out now in the middle of the night?" She dressed up in full waterproof, all the gear. She said she knew the minute she started climbing, it was going to turn to snow, which it did, and it was kind of battering down. She knew at that point it was kind of crazy, but she carried on and pushed on. I mean, that's good training for Barkley, right? Because you see, or you get all this different kinds of crazy ass weather at Barkley. She basically did out and back or up and down 17 times overnight, finished in the morning. So, and she ended up with 5,000 meters of climbing, which, let me do my calculator.
15,000 feet.
16,000 feet. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miserable conditions. So good training for Barkley. But I mean, she did that. She did speed work. She did strength training. All this while, taking care of kids and all that. So yeah, kudos to her. She put in the work. She earned that victory.
Yeah.
Tara Dower, I think I saw yesterday. I know over the weekend let's back up. So we had talked about
that was crazy. Yeah.
On the last episode, which we've recorded on Wednesday last week, we were saying that she's gonna pass Mike Wardian any day now. Well, the next day they met up.
Yeah.
And Johnny shared it on Instagram, on a Instagram story. Not too proficient with with that social media, but anyway. So I think a couple days ago she was at the 500 mile mark, 500 to go, and then I thought I saw yesterday that she was at the 400 to go. So
I haven't seen the 400.
I don't know where I saw it. It wasn't on their Chump Change website.
Because you're right. She has two going on. On the Candy Mama, there's the post that shows her at the 500. She's leaning against it, and then the next post after that is she has two pinned. Right? She has the two pinned. She has the one where she was a hard rocker, and then she has the one talk about her going after the AT. But she has she just has a couple, kind of posts, random posts, and then she has the one next to the 500. That's the Candy Mama one. The official one for the AT attempt that she has. The most recent one is the one which is an amazing picture. It's that nighttime one. That photo is badass. Like I want like that. Whatever camera took that. I don't know if that's a phone or what, but that is an amazing picture.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. That is pretty cool. So here she is right now, and she's like almost to the Smoky Mountains, which, she's getting close. And I still don't know where she is in relation to the record. Like, is she still ahead of record pace? I don't know because they haven't talked about it. So the suspense is intriguing.
Yeah, I hate to be kind of like a pessimist, but this is a pessimistic comment I'm going to make. But on the AT FKT attempt, on that Instagram account, because she has the two, right? She has her OG account, and then she has the FKT attempt account, right, for Instagram.
Okay. Yeah.
On the
chump change.
Yeah, on the chump change one, the post, the most recent post is the nighttime post, and it's one from McAfee Knob. But the caption on it is, everyone always wants to know if we're on pace. And the simple answer is that we are on our own pace.
Yeah. So
it goes on from there, but like that opening paragraph is.
Here's 4 hours ago. Okay, so let's just maybe see what she has to say here from this story from 4 hours ago. Can you hear that? Oh. How do I? You can't hear that. I don't know how to change the setting. Well, I'll just tell you what she says. She says it's Girls' Day, all female pacers. Wanted to challenge us. She's having another big day today. It's the almost end. Today's a big mileage day. Wondering if you want to match Girls on the Run donations for the amount of miles she completes today. She's going to let us know tomorrow how many miles she completed. Okay. Yeah. So not much information, but I don't know where I saw it. I did see somewhere that she was at 400, and that was yesterday, I think. So
yeah, I mean, she's obviously still trying to hammer out, right? She's still like crushing it without a doubt. But I'm just a little nervous about.
So what day you said she was at, like day 36?
So if you go to the Instagram account that is the official account for the FKT.
Yeah.
6 days ago, it was day 30. She posted.
Okay.
That's when she posted the everyone wants to know.
Okay.
And we're on our own pace now.
So let's say she did. Let's say she did 50 miles today. She would have like 350 miles left, right? A day 36, and I think the record is 41 Appalachian Trail FKT southbound. Okay, I'm going to the fastest known time. Web page, southbound. Oh, Christian Morgan holds the southbound record, 45 days, 4 hours, 27 minutes. So she's got 9 days to go 350 miles, if what we think is correct.
So 350.
I think she's got a really good shot at it.
So I just actually rounded up. So I just rounded up by a pretty aggressive amount, and so she would need to do basically 40 miles a day.
Oh, she's been doing that.
She's been doing that, right? And so I actually hit 365, I think. So I assume she had 360. I mean, shit. We know she's at mile 40, or I'm sorry, we know she's at mile 400, right? Like we know that. Like we have a picture of her at mile 400. Or I'm sorry, mile 500, where it said only 500 miles to go.
Yeah, that was like a couple days ago.
That was 3 days ago.
Yeah.
That was 3. Okay, so
if she's putting on 50 miles a day, then she's
so let's do this. Let's get really wild. If she was at the she had 500 miles to go, right? Only 500 miles left. Okay. And so we're saying that she needs to do this. She has how many days left?
9 days, I guess.
So
it'd be less than 9 days now, because it's 9 days and 4 hours and 27 minutes.
So 9 days. So we won't call it.
Let's just say she has 8 days. Just
okay. So let's do 500 divided by the 8. Dude, listen, I'm getting ready to make a dumbass comment. All she has to do for the next 8 days, all she has to do. I mean, damn it, Tara, get it together. All she has to do is 100K a day. That's it.
Oh man, that's brutal. But that's the worst case scenario is probably less than that.
Oh, it's much less than that. Because I went 500. I took 3 days away from her because I'm putting her back 3 days, and
you got to give her 150 miles there. So
yeah, right. So I'm saying like she's definitely got to do less than 60 miles a day.
Yeah, but she's well positioned. She's gonna do it.
Yeah, that's and awesome. Here's the other thing. Here's the other thing is she's down into like. I mean, she's getting into a more runnable section of the AT.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you're getting down into like pretty runnable sections of the AT.
Smoky Mountains, and then it'll be like North Carolina, Georgia.
Yeah.
And so the female supported record is 46 days and 11 hours by Jennifer Farr Davis, who I met at Mohican one time. She was crewing for her husband, Brew, in the Mohican 100.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. But yeah, so the female supported record is 46 days, 11 hours, 20 minutes. So I'm pretty sure she's got that one on lockdown, but I'm thinking she's going to beat the overall.
Yeah.
So
I think so too.
That's cool. Mike Wardian, he's still chugging along. He's taking days off now. Oh, is that right? Yeah.
Yeah.
He did mention he was still going to be working during this thing. Day 44, 37 miles per day. He had 545 miles to go to the finish. That post was 2 days ago.
So I mean,
on day 46.
So Tara left him in the dust too. That's your like she left him in the dust. Yeah.
She's going for it, man. That's super cool. So super excited to see how it shakes out. But I mean, knock on wood, barring anything crazy, man, I'm pretty optimistic.
yeah, I think so too.
Cool.
Let's see something. Cool.
All right. Yep. So as I mentioned, early release this week. Next week, we'll have to see how it goes because I'll be doing my final days of packing and everything. So we might the Ultra Running News Network might be on vacation next week.
Oh man.
We'll try to record. There's some stuff going on, including the race I'm running in. So
there you go. Yeah, heck yeah.
So we'll try to record. We'll see where we're at. But anyways, hope everybody has a good weekend. Thanks for tuning in and listening. And we've had a little bit of back and forth on the social media lately, which is cool. Good to see. So thanks for everyone who reaches out and creates dialogue. Hopefully we get some more of that in the future. It's fun interacting with everyone. So
good luck at the race.
Oh, thank you. I'll need it.
let's get some on course reporting from you. Let's see if we get some.
Well, there's no service out there in remote Oregon, so I don't think I'll be able to go live on Instagram or anything. But
get us some good pictures and get some posts for us.
I will definitely get some good pictures, and there's no live tracking either. So, I don't know. I'll try to have Jess send you a text or something.
Cool.
But all right, everyone, take care.
All right. See y'all later. Thanks.
All right. I'm going to take us out with a little bit of different outro here. Here we go.
All right. Let's get it. Hello.
See ya.